Thank you, Wendy. And so now I guess let me just double check that it's working. Yes, it's working. Good. All right. So before I get started, there's a feature in the sort of middle on your right-hand corner where you can raise a hand. And then I wanted to just kind of take a quick feel because there are 50 plus people on this webinar right now. Could you, if you have any kind of blockchain experience, including just, maybe you have held 0.001 Bitcoin in the past, kind of experience is okay. If you have any kind of experience with blockchain, can you press the raise your hand button real quick so that I can get the feel of what a kind of people I might have? Okay, so I'm guessing that probably we have a relatively large portion of the room relatively novice to blockchain, it feels like. So this is great. All right, so let's get started with that response. Thank you for those of you who pressed the button. Thank you for those of you who are here today to learn a little bit more about this technology, which I quite frankly believe is really exciting and could change a certain part of the industry infrastructure. So anyway, we'll take it back a little bit and we'll talk about Industrial Revolution history, because we are actually going through what we are unofficially calling the fourth Industrial Revolution today. And in order to really kind of understand what's going on today, I think it's very important that we understand what happened in the past with regards to the past Industrial Revolution. So the first Industrial Revolution has taken place from 1760 to 1840. During which time we found steam energy, the fast-paced textile industry, evolving stages of metallurgy and metalworks. So all of them really pushed the economy forward. Everything that was found back then was kind of independent of each other, fueling other things that really developed from there onwards. And kind of the same thing with the second Industrial Revolution, 1870 to 1914. Power, electricity, oil and gas, and innovation in communication, transport. So this really kind of put us on the map of where we are today with all this electricity and energy and the way to communicate with each other, with the faraway people, and ways to move things faster, including ourselves. And the third Industrial Revolution, which most of you probably have been involved in one way or another, is really from the late 60s to 2000 when we had the IT. So we have today's e-commerce and social media social media technologies, thanks to what happened just a few years ago, basically. And as I said, we're going through the fourth Industrial Revolution now. Pretty much, we are seeing everything digital happening at the same time. What does that really mean? So we are seeing a lot of innovation progresses at the unprecedented speed and scale and the number. So we are entering this era, and during this period, a number of new technologies have been developed, not just one or two things that can move things forward. But let's just start naming a few that we have seen happen in the last few years. Blockchain, cybersecurity, VR, AR, IoT, new space economy, and artificial intelligence. Of course, some of these technologies have existed longer than others, but they are pretty much shaping up within the last 10, 20 years. These new technologies are frequently used together to develop solutions to problems. Meaning, even though I'm going to be talking about the blockchain, nowadays, most of the people can't really talk about blockchain without getting some kind of artificial intelligence, for example, involved. Or no IoT is really discussed without some kind of VR. New space economy, the same thing. It does not stand alone. And cybersecurity is really giving the foundation and the necessary fundamental for all of those technologies to properly security act. So these technologies, I believe, that were really sort of coming together for reasons. With the cryptocurrency market boom and decline, and actually booming again, if I may say so, some interest in the technology field is arising again. So where are we going with this, right? Blockchain has a very short history compared with some other technologies that have existed for a long time. So let's look at some other technologies that existed much longer. AI history really goes back to 1950s. If you just talk about computing, it can actually go back to even 40s. Soviets launched the first artificial satellite, so basically the old space economy, on October 4th, 1957. Internet development began in 1950s, and Department of Defense contract was awarded as early as 1960s. Now, let's think about these three, right? I mean, when was that we really began to hear something about artificial intelligence, or even using a specific name, Watson, right? I mean, it's only the last 10 years, 15 years. And people began to only talk about the new economy in the last few years also, as the things like Blue Origin and SpaceX came up. And internet, I mean, e-commerce, the emergence of the companies like Amazon really kind of pushed the internet forward, but otherwise they really kind of existed since they all existed since the middle of 1950, the 1900s. Isn't that amazing to think about the long history it took for all these technologies to shape up to be what it is today? Wireless communication, so basically the base of mobile phones, can be dated back to 1895 with wireless telegraph. How long does it take for these technologies to really become a part of our lives? It's an unimaginable number of years going into it. And the first work on the cryptography, which is really the base of blockchain, secured chain of blocks, was described in 1991, followed by first blockchain invention in 2008 by the famous introduction of Satoshi Nakamoto's white paper, which consequently gave a birth to Bitcoin. So the Bitcoin had 10th year birthday just last year in October. It's that young. Compared with any other technologies that we talk in the same breath today, it's a very, very young technology. We need to keep that in our mind as we proceed with this technology in one way or another. So for those of you in the room who are not very familiar with the blockchain infrastructure or how it works, at least the public blockchain as we know it. I don't know how well you can see on your screen these small pictures, but the left-hand upper corner, this one, the one that I'm circling around right now, this is traditionally how the computer is connected to the central data center. So if you think about the movies like Mission Impossible or something where in order to compromise or steal some kind of very important information or shut down the operations, all these the undercover operators kind of sneak into the data center in the black clothes. They were aiming to break into this big circle in the middle, right? And with this being shut.
Hi there, I hope you enjoyed that last clip. My name is Michael Maludis, and if you'd like to watch the full 60 minutes of that last webcast, while also gaining complete unlimited access to our entire library of IT learning, simply visit our subscribe page at greatpro.org/subscribe. Unlimited annual access is $199 per year, but if you use the coupon code LEARN2EARN, you can drop that membership fee to just $149. That's less than $13 per month for unlimited access to over 1,000 hours of on-demand career development, covering the entire spectrum of IT management best practices, including business analysis and requirements, software development, quality and testing, risk management, process improvement, project management, and even digital transformation. But your membership doesn't just give you unlimited access to our vast learning library. You also get free access to our mobile app, as well as direct access to our network of over 300 of the world's leading IT consultants, all of whom are dedicated to putting practical knowledge at your fingertips so that you can learn more and earn more. I hope you will join me in becoming a member of the Great IT Professional and advancing your career with us. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button above so that you get notified whenever we publish new free webcasts each week of the year. Thank you for your time and best wishes for your continued success.